gaudy as he ever was. Oh, hello, good evening. Milo Tyndall.
Yes, Mr. Watt?
Oh, do come in. Here, let me take your coat for you. Did you find your entrance into the lane all right?
Yes.
Oh, well done. Most people just go straight past it.
Not at all. I found your note when I got back from London this afternoon.
Oh, good. I pushed it through your letterbox.
What's this?
Oh, that's Jolly Jack Tar, the jovial sailor. He and I have a very good relationship. I tell the jokes and he laughs, you see, like this. What will you be having? Water, coffee, tea?
Water.
And how do you like it?
Just ice. And what's this?
Oh, that's a game.
Child's game?
It is. Anything but childish, I can assure you. I've been studying it for months and I'm still only a novice. It's called Sonata. It was played by the ancient Egyptians. It's an early blocking game, not unlike our own nine-men Morris. Would you mind putting that piece back where you found it? It's taken me a long time to get it there. How are you settling in at the laundry cottage?
Very well.
Are you using it for weekends, that sort of thing?
Yeah, that sort of thing.
It is a charming little place. Well, cheers!
Cheers.
I hope you won't mind then if I just tidy up a little bit. I have just reached the announcement of my new book, The Body on the Tennis Court. Would you say that the normal recreation of the noble mind is in fact the detective?
Who said that?
Oh, I'm quoting Philip Gudela, a biographer of the 30s. The Golden Age. Back when every minister had a thriller by his bedside and all the detectives were titled, quite a fair bit before your time, I imagine.
Perhaps it would have been true to say that the noble recreations were the normal.
Yes, that's a good point. You know, I sit in my own work among the gentry, and a fair few number of the common people still enjoy it in spite of the welfare state.
I'm surprised they haven't done any of your stuff on television.
God forbid!
Well, they're always doing crime stories.
What, you mean those ghastly things where the police race around in cars and call all the suspects chummy?
Yes, that kind of
Oh, no. That is not my line of country at all. That is detective fact, not detective fiction.
And of course, as such is of much less interest to little minds.
Yes, you've put it all in a nutshell very nicely, my dear Milo, if I may so refer to you.
Of course.
Very good. We need to be friendly with each other. Now, please, do take a seat. And let me get you another drink. I'm one up on you already. I understand that you want to marry my wife. Yo, forgive me for raising the matter, but Margaret is out of town up north visiting relatives, you know. That sort of.
Is she?
Yes. Well, is it true?
Well, yes, with your permission, of course.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Put that behind her necktie.
Cheers.
Prost. You know, it makes me feel very good to know that you're not like so many young men nowadays, Milo, who think they can just do whatever they want without asking anyone's permission for anything.
Certainly not.
I'm very glad to hear that. Very, very good. Therefore, I know you won't mind if I ask you a couple questions about your parents and so on.
My mother was born in Hereford, a farmer's daughter. My father was an Italian who came to this country in the 30s.
Mind you, I hope you have no objections to any children my wife and you may be raising being brought up in the Church of England.
None whatsoever, if that's what Margaret wants, of course.
You haven't discussed it yet?
No, it doesn't seem to have cropped up yet.
Well, I suppose in some ways that's sort of a relief, but no, if you'll take it from me, you'll opt for the C of E. It's just so much simpler. Remembrance Friday here and Christmas Eve there, and you seem the whole thing off nicely. Throw in a Good Friday, and they give you the Good Christian medal with the oak leaf cluster. Your father, his last name was Tyndall. That doesn't sound very Italian.
Well, his name was Tindaloni, but if you had a name like that back then, you had to make out an ice cream. He was a watchmaker, so he changed it.
Was he a successful man?
No, his business failed. He went back to Italy. I send him money from time to time and go and visit him and get some sun or skiing, depending, of course, on the season.
Yes, of course. And you, what do you do?
I'm in the travel business. I have my own agency in Dulwich.
Ah, Tyndall's Travels, I see. And where do you live?
I live above the office.
In Dulwich.
Yes. I rent the whole house. It's really most convenient. And it's attractive too. It's Georgian.
I am certain it is just wonderful, though. I doubt whether an architectural gem in the middle of Dulwich whispers quite the same magic to Margaret as it does to you.
Oh, she adores old houses. She can't wait to live there.
From what I understand, she was already living there. At least for a couple of nights a week. And I assume the renting of the cottage was to increase the frequency of this hebdomadal couple.
I came to be near the woman I love. It's a great pain for us to be apart. You wouldn't understand.
Possibly, but I do know Margaret well enough to know that she does not adore old houses. She has lived here for quite a while, and well, between the rising damp and the death watch beetle, they have put the boot in her good and proper. She only has to see a mullioned window to bring her out in lumps.
Perhaps it wasn't the house so much as the person that she had to share it with.
Ah, I thought you were well brought up. Surely you know it is very rude to make personal remarks.
I'm sorry. You were disparaging my lover.
On the contrary, I was reminiscing about my wife.
Comes to the same thing.
Things usually do. You know, I wager within a year it will be me doing the praising and you the disparaging, having completely forgotten how intolerably tiresome, vain, spendthrift, self-indulgent, and generally bloody crafty she really is.
If you don't love Margaret, you don't have to abuse her.
Never speak ill of the deadly, eh?
Now look here.
If I choose to say that my wife converses like a child of 6 and cooks like a Brightling's Land sea lady, I shall. And I certainly don't need her lover's permission to do so either. In fact, the only thing I need to know from you is this. Can you afford to take her off my hands?
Afford to?
Afford to support her in a lifestyle in which she wasn't accustomed to before me, but now is.
She won't need all of this when we're married. It'll be a different life. A life of love and simplicity. Go ahead. Sneer at that. It's almost a national snore. Sneering at love in this country.
I don't have to sneer at it. I simply don't believe you. For Margaret, love is the fawning of a willing lapdog, and simplicity, a 10-carat square-cut diamond.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm sure with a little more appreciative audience, you'll find someone to listen to this.
Oh, come now, Myla. You disappoint me, rising to your feet and bridling like that.
I wasn't bridling, I was protesting.
Looks like a good old-fashioned bridle to me.
What?
Oh, yes. Very good, very good. Now, please, have a seat, and let's talk about something that matters desperately to both of us.
Margaret!
The money! Have you got any?
Well, I am no millionaire, but I do have a lease on the house and some capital equipment, and the turnover in the business has been growing every month. So by this time next year...
This time next year, this time this year, this time sometime never. So what you're telling me is that at the moment you're flat skinned.
I'll survive.
I'm certain of that. But survival is not the point. Presumably when you're married to Margaret, you'll want a nice little place in the sun, a fast car, and a couple of mistresses.
Why presumably? Just because you need those things?
I certainly do. And so does every insecure, deceitful, right-thinking man. The question is how to get there.
I'm sure you do all right.
Me? Oh no, all I have is just this fading mansion, the Sleuth Lagoda in Wiltshire, and only one mistress, I'm afraid.
Tia, the Finnish lady who runs the bath sauna in Swindon.
Oh, so you know about her, do you?
Margaret and I have no secrets from each other.
Apparently you don't even keep mine. Tia is a Caroline goddess, and if I were you, I wouldn't listen to a word Margaret says. You can take it from me. Tia is an engaging woman, and she suits me mightily.
Are you going to marry her?
Marry a goddess, I wouldn't presume. No, now look here, I have no objections to you marrying Margaret. There's nothing I want to see more than you two tap together, but this has got to be a fixture. It has got to be permanent, not some 2-week Tyndall for economy class now. You listen to me. You don't know Margaret like I do. You think you do, but you don't.
So she's used to luxury. Whose fault is that?
It's not a fault if you can afford it, but can you?
Well,
What does Margaret do when you bring up money? A slivery laugh? A coquettish turn of the head?
something like that.
Yes, you see, exactly. It is to solve this little problem that I have invited you here tonight. This, as they say, is where the plot thickens. I'm glad you follow me so readily. Do have a seat and let me get you a drink. Comfortable? I'll begin. Once upon a time, there was an Englishman named Andrew White who, like most of his fellow countrymen, was virtually castrated by taxation. The only way to avoid total emasculation was to, as his accountants advised him right before his next devaluation, invest some £135,000 into jewelry. His wife, of course, was delighted.
You made her a present of it?
Oh, no, absolutely not. The jewels are still mine, as well as she knows it, but he figured she might as well wear it than bank it. After all, the jewels are fully insured.
I see what you mean by the plot thickening. It usually does when insurance is mentioned.
Ooh, I'm glad you understand. I would like you to steal those jewels.
What?
Tonight, for choice. Margaret is out of the house. It is an admirable opportunity.
But what about the servants?
I have sent Mr. and Mrs. Hawkins to Weston-super-Mare for a 48-hour paddle. They won't be back again until Sunday, so the house is empty.
I see.
Well, I assure you, if you thought I was joking, I am certainly not.
Well, it sounds very criminal.
Well, of course it's criminal. All good money-making schemes in England have got to be these days. The jewels, when they're not at the bank, live in a safe under the stairs. That's where they are now. All you have to do is break in, steal the jewels, sell them abroad, and live happily ever after with Margaret. All I have to do is claim the insurance money and live happily ever after with Tia. Or at least until I get fed up with her.
Well, why don't you steal them and just hand them over to me?
Hey, model lady, would you listen to me? Crime is like my specialty, and I got this whole thing figured out. You know, I got this whole plan rolling around in my head. You are the star. I'm just the producer.
£90,000, you say?
£90,000, tax-free in cash. It would take a lot of Tyndall tools to make that kind of money.
All right, I'll do it. Where shall I bring it?
Ooh, hold your horses there, Milo. The first thing we have to do is we must disguise ourselves.
What on earth for?
Well, suppose somebody saw you climbing in.
Who? You're not overlooked.
Oh, who knows? A dallying couple, a passing sheep. And remember, we're supposed to leave clues for the police. Don't want to snag a button on a windowsill or a footprint in a flower bed. Oh, you simply must be disguised.
All right. What do you suggest?
As I am sure Margaret has no doubt definitely told you, back in our younger years, we were always dressing up in this house. What with the amateur theatrics, the masquerades, the costume balls, there was virtually no end to the concealment of identity.
She's never mentioned it.
No. It was some years ago. Now, let's see what we've got. Item. Flat cap, striped jersey, a mask, bag marked swag.
I thought the idea was I was not to be taken for a burglar.
Well, fashions change, you know.
Not really enough. It's asking for trouble.
Oh, come now, let's make this a Gothic folly. Perhaps we shall never know the true identity of the cowed figure seen haunting the manor grounds on the night of the terrible murder. Locals still claim that they can hear the agonizing screams of the victims echoing around the chimney pots.
Murder? Agonized screams? What are you talking about? It's a simple robbery we're staging here. That's all.
Yes, quite right, Milo. I must have gotten carried away.
Okay, well, what about this?
Oh, Monsieur Boucard, he's very good. Lots of beauty spots and wig powder to let fall all over the place. Or, oh, what about this little bo peep?
No.
Oh, are you quite sure?
Yes, I haven't got the figure for it.
Oh, well, an indifferent figure should not affect the material execution of this crime. Quite sure?
Quite sure.
Oh my, aren't you choosy? That doesn't give us a lot to work with. I suppose we'll have to settle for jelly. Oh, can't you see it, Milo? The tinsel, the glitter, the lights, the roar of the crowd, and the Liberty horses, and oh, all the kiddies love.
Well, it does seem most appropriate for the scheme.
Well, put it on then.
You insist.
All right, they're old sport. How about this one? Is your refrigerator running? Then you'd better go catch it. Nothing? Nothing from you? No Heimlich? No, I'm sorry.
Enter. Milo.
Bravissimo. Oh, you're missing our boots, really.
I can go skiing in these.
Oh, the clown is such a happy chap. His nose is painted red. He dances around the circus ring till the day he tries a trick and falls down. Oh, give us a trick, Milo.
What sort of trick?
I don't know. Trip up, fall on your bum?
Certainly not. I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, if not, then how about a little bit of juggling? Sorry, old boy, but you know what they say in the circus. If at first you don't succeed.
Give up. Can we please get on with the charade?
Of course. I'm yours to command. All right. In this case are the tools of your trade. A scalpel for breaking in. A piece of putty for holding the cut piece of glass so that way it doesn't clatter to the floor and awaken the ravenous Gilbert Pincherman you suspect lurks inside. And a stethoscope.
A stethoscope?
Yes, safe breakers make use of it. The idea is that you attempted to break in listening to the failed tumblers, didn't, and then employed the use of jelly.
Gelinite?
Yes, leave that part to me now. Have you got everything? Glass cutter, putty.
The mask!
All right, now, all you're going to have to do is walk outside of that door, across the lawn, and to the right you will find a shed. Once you have found it, all you will need to do is find the ladder, prop it up, and then attempt to climb inside through the gallery.
Will you come and hold it steady?
Certainly not. I do not want my footprints in the flower beds.
Well, I'm not very good at heights.
Oh, put one foot on top of the other. It's called climbing. Improvise.
All right.
Good luck. Keep your bloody boots off of my busy Lizzies.
All right. Now for the safe.
Ah, you're not supposed to know where the jewels are immediately. Go search around the house, into the bedroom. Throw some clothes onto the floor. Margaret's. For choice, yes. Yes, that's it. Well, don't pack 'em, ravage 'em. Don't you know how burglars leave a place? Now, go into the wardrobe and rifle through the contents a little bit. Ooh, actually, that's enough. I had those shirts made for me by Baguette and Grub, chemise makers to Monarchs.
Well, it's got to be thorough. It would look suspicious if the burglar played favorites.
Oh, it'll be a martyrdom. Rifle that bureau immediately.
locked.
Well, of course it's bloody locked. Use your jimmy on it.
Haven't gotten one.
Well, you better go get you. Honestly, Milo, you are the soppiest night interloper I have ever met. I cannot imagine what Margaret sees in you.
The sympathy and kindness of a kindred spirit, actually.
I imagine you take it a little bit more seriously is all.
You have to be serious if you want to be in love.
Ah, you've got to be serious about crime if you want to afford to be in love. Now, get cracking on that bureau.
I found a set of false teeth. They're a man's.
Put those back at once!
Sorry. Your spares?
Milo, step there. All right, preparing for contact in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, contact.
Oh, it's hot.
Oh, imagine like you've got gloves on. Go on, get in there. Well, what the hell are you shaking it for? It's a jewel box, not a maraca.
It's locked. I figured there was a catch on it.
Of course it is bloody locked. Smash it open. Jesus, you have all the killer instinct of a newborn babe.
It's such a pretty box. Smashing it open would seem like a waste. Dear God!
And Moses looks upon the promised land.
Look at this ruby necklace.
That we got for our honeymoon.
It's
I
fantastic.
never much cared for it myself. I always thought it'd make Margaret look like a blood sacrifice. Here, keep it on your person. I'll get you the title to the jewels in a minute. Now, this is for the fun part. This is the moment when the household, attracted upstairs by some noise, sees the burglar. And in the ensuing struggle, the house is sacked.
All right. How much sacking do you want?
A decent bit, I think. You know, a few chairs overturned, a couple china ornaments put to the sword. You know, convincing. Not a proper jillian.
Okay.
Surely you don't call that convincing. Much better. Let the encyclopedias fly like autumn leaves. I never much cared for salt cakes. I can't imagine why Margaret was so devoted to it. No, it still just doesn't look quite right. Now, come on. Let's see what accident does to artifacts.
Why?
Naturally, I must be able to show the police a real bump when they come to investigate. I thought you would like this day.
How about the crowbar? The original blunt instrument.
Now, steady on there, Milo. Let's not get carried away.
I'm doing my best.
We're not talking about a murder weapon. Oh, do try. Perhaps we could conceive a device that would raise a lump on the cranium without actually damaging it.
Oh, a bee sting projected onto the scalp using the blowpipe?
Oh, do you have such a bee sting or pipe?
No.
Still, 7 out of 10 for trying. Oh, I know. You could always tie me up and leave me to be discovered by the cleaning lady next morning. Lord, Mr. Walk, what are you doing like that? Oh, trust up like a turkey. Oh, I see. Trying out something for one of them creepy books of yours, sir. Well, then, I'll just leave it to you in there. Get on with the dusting.
Well, if I don't knock you out, then how do I tie you up?
That's a good question. I know. You could always hold me at gunpoint.
We professional burglars don't like to use guns very much.
Ah, yes, but as a rank amateur, you will have no problem conquering your scruples. Here it is. Don't you think it's wicked-looking blue barrels? Just the thing.
Is it loaded?
Naturally. What use would it be otherwise? perhaps it should go off during the struggle.
Why?
It would add credence to my story. I, fearing burglars and hearing a noise upstairs, would take my revolver. In the ensuing struggle, the gun would go off, and then you, being brutish, would allow to take the revolver from a scaredy cat householder like me. Right.
I see.
Uninventive, but believable. You might have said good shot.
Good shot.
Oh, what fun this is. Did you ever know Charlie Bentley?
I don't think so.
Oh, terribly funny fellow. I once saw him bag 3 brace of duck with a single shot. Of course, the only issue was that there were china ducks on his auntie's drawing room wall. And then I lean over to him and I go, "You can't do that. It's closed season." You know, it's really not that funny. There's an open season on some creatures all year round. Wife stealers and seducers, for example.
Surely only in Italian opera.
Oh, but you would know, wouldn't you? It's your country of origin.
No, I was born here in England, actually.
Were you now? Dear old cradle of the parliamentary system, he who screws my wife merits a large pink gin, England.
A sense of humor, Fairchild, England.
But that's the way a foreigner talks. Secretly, in private, you think, filthy, wet, ugly country, cold, red, rude men who don't know how to treat women.
What are you doing? What's brought on all of this?
I'm pretty obviously pointing this gun at you.
Why?
Because I am going to kill you.
You're going to... I suppose you are serious.
I'm not afraid of killing you, if that's what you're asking.
So, all of this... steal my wife's jewels?
Of course, I set up the circumstances to your own demise. The disguise, the break, and the jewels in your pocket, the householder aroused, the gun going off, and the final fatal shot. I might even get some praise from the police for having a go at it.
But why?
Don't snivel. You can't think it will gain you mercy.
Please, I must know why.
I'm shocked you even have to ask. But since you do, I'll tell you. It's perfectly simple. I hate you. I hate your smarmy, good-looking face and your easy manner. I bet you're easy on a yacht, and easy on a beach, and easy on a ski lodge. I hate you because you are a mock noble, a jeweled-shot, cuff-linked spongero, world is my oyster, seducer of stupid women, and a king among marshmallow snakes. I hate you because you are a culling spick, and not one of mine. Come now, little man. Did you really think I would give you my wife and my jewels that easy? Did you really think I would make myself that ridiculous?
But you don't love her anymore.
It doesn't matter if I love her or not. She's mine. I have kept her. She is familiar. And once, she was in love with me too.
And now, she's in love with me. And the dog in the manger won't let her go. A mad dog that should be put down for everyone else's sake.
And you are a young man about to be murdered in a clown costume. Step to the front, Miley.
No.
Step down. Excellent. Farewell.